And especially if you have control of the media, which the progressives do. And I mean the progressives of the right and the left have control of the media. And they don't like an upstart coming in.
Yeah, it's a good example of that is Media Matters this morning. One of the guys at Media Matters tweeted out the story from ABC News with just detailing the 12 edits where they deleted things like, hey, by the way, we have evidence that there's been 5 attacks and probably this was tied to Al-Qaeda. Deleted before they sent Susan Rice out for all these interviews where she said it was the YouTube video. Deleted. Well, a Media Matters guy tweeted this out this morning and said, hey, finally, ABC News is taking down all the conservative complaints about this. Obviously didn't read the article where it does the exact opposite of that. It confirms everything we've said since the beginning of the story.
They're stupid.
5 minutes later, just deletes it. I deleted the tweet. And behind that is not just this moron's incredible, unending stupidity. It also is the belief that any story about Benghazi must support their position. Yeah. Why bother reading it? Every other story is always just echoing what we say, so why bother?
I will tell you, now it'll be interesting to see if ABC, now that they have this, and they've announced to the world that they understand what it is, now it'll be interesting to see if they cave from the pressure. And my guess is ABC is run by Disney. It's ABC Disney. You cannot run an amusement park and a news business, and news or information and opinion business if you run an amusement park. You can't, because your amusement park is more important. Why does ESPN always fire everybody right away? Because they immediately, the special interest groups say, we're going to boycott Disneyland. We're going to boycott Disney World. We're going to take out ads everywhere talking about how the mouse all of a sudden is racist, and they can't have that. And so they fold every single time. And here's what's happening with Benghazi. They will fold because the president has gone and done speeches there. He has used them as a background. They are a model.
It's not true.
No, it is. It is. I mean,
I think in general it's definitely true.
You know that ABC folded to care when it came to in regards to me. You know that. Do you not know that?
No, I mean, that's true. I mean, the pressure groups
the pressure groups go in and they say we're going to boycott the mouse, and it's over. So it'll be interesting to see whether ABC now pursues this or just says we've done our part. We took our hit. We're done. We're out. Now, the really fascinating story is last night on The Blaze and others, Town Hall has reported this. There's been some others that have reported it, but there's no other cable network that has reported this. We are now beginning to be in the mainstream media's turf. We are going back in now, except we're going in under our own rules, we have our own bosses, and our own bosses are you and God, and that's it. We're going in and playing on their turf, and there is no one that is on that turf that has exposed the fact that the guy who oversaw these changes is the brother of the president of CBS News. Last night, we showed you exactly what he has done, what he has said. He's the guy who wrote the speech for the Cairo speech for the president. This is not some small-time guy. He wrote the Cairo speech. He's also the guy that oversaw all of the changes, 12 of them. CBS has been denying that there were any changes. Well, the president of CBS News, his brother, is the guy who made the changes. So if anybody should know, it should be CBS News. But if you watch CBS News, their own website, had no coverage on their own front page. The day of the Benghazi hearings, they had no front page coverage, or if they did, it was so small it was not even, you couldn't even find it. Yet, if you look at most popular stories, the number one story was about the Benghazi trial, the Benghazi hearings. Yet they were promoting to everything else but that. You actually had to go onto CBSNews.com and search that story out to find it, and it was still the number one story on CBS News. They're not telling you the truth. They have no intention of telling you the truth. It doesn't fit into their storyline, and they are all under too much pressure. No one can handle being an enemy of this administration. No one can handle being an enemy of CARE or the Muslim Brotherhood. I just explained to Pat a few minutes ago, and we have to do this, maybe on Monday. I can explain to you why we tolerate the Muslim Brotherhood and we don't tolerate Al-Qaeda. We think that we have a policy of no terror. No, we say no Al-Qaeda terror. But the Muslim Brotherhood is also terror, just a different kind. And if I may, the Al-Qaeda is the weather underground. They'll go and blow things up. But the Muslim Brotherhood is SDS and Acorn. They say take them from the inside, cripple them by poisoning them from the inside, spend them to death, rot their core, and then we'll take them. That's who we have chosen to get into bed with. We're in bed with the Acorn of the Islamic world, the Muslim Brotherhood, the Peace and Justice Party, as they're now calling themselves. We're against Al-Qaeda. That's why no one will cover the Muslim Brotherhood. That's why it's so important to say terror doesn't exist. Al-Qaeda is over and terror doesn't exist. Because terror doesn't exist. If you wipe out Al-Qaeda, to them, terror doesn't exist. Because what you're left with is the Muslim Brotherhood. And they're not terrorists. They're Acorn. They're SDS. They rot you in from the inside. No one will explain those things to you on television. And those are the things that we're missing. And those are the things that will cause America to fall and the West to fall if they're not explained.